Tonight, the controversy over the Jeffrey Epstein case continues to grow. The administration says there's nothing left to see. No client list, no big revelations. But tonight, a Florida attorney who's represented Epstein's victims since 2007 says that's just not true, claiming powerful names and hidden evidence are still out there. Investigative reporter Terry Parker spoke with the attorney who says he has firsthand knowledge. Terry?
That's right, Tiffany. I just spoke with attorney Spencer Kuvin. He's handled some of Epstein's earliest cases and says while there's no neat client list, Epstein's black book, phone records, and surveillance tapes hold secrets that could expose high-profile people, and he's certain the public has not been told everything.
I know firsthand that they haven't disclosed everything. I can tell you that with 100% certainty that not everything has been disclosed.
Epstein victims attorney Spencer Kuvin says there is no so-called client list of people who used Epstein to set them up with underage sex victims. But he says there is something else.
So is there a quote list of these people? No, it doesn't exist. There's no list, but there's a phone book, and Epstein knew who he knew, and so did Maxwell. So when these high-profile individuals would make the call because they happen to be in town for the winter and say, hey, I need somebody today, then Maxwell would round up the girls and send someone over.
Kuvin says his clients shared names of some of those so-called customers, names that remain hidden because of attorney-client privilege and NDAs signed as part of their settlements.
I'm aware, because of the work that I did on the cases, of numerous high-profile individuals, which I am unfortunately not allowed to disclose, that exist, that were utilizing the services of Epstein and Maxwell to obtain girls while they were on the island.
And there is more evidence, though, Kuvin says, that is still not being released. Videotapes found in Epstein's homes, taken from multiple surveillance cameras.
There were thousands of hours of videotapes taken from inside the homes of Jeffrey Epstein that I have no doubt, have video of people on them. People that have never been named before, I never identified before. Let's see the tapes.
Kuvin says he doesn't know why the government seems to be protecting the men who had sex with Epstein's teenage victims, but he has a theory.
They're probably very wealthy donors to the party, and as a result, they don't want to shake the apple cart.
As for that newly released prison video of Epstein's final hours, Kuvin says it proves nothing about how the convicted sex offender died.
All the video does is show that they're trying real hard to get people to believe one thing and not another.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sad thing. And will we ever know the real truth about that? I doubt it.
Spencer Kuvin says not everyone in Epstein's little black book was a client. Some of those names Epstein probably didn't even know, but he would have liked to have met them. He says Epstein traded favors with the powerful, giving them access to girls in exchange for introductions to other powerful people or invitations to exclusive events. Kuvin is not hopeful the names will be confirmed anytime soon. Terry Parker, WPBF 25 News.